My name is Jason Villers. I'm a candidate for graduation from the MET program at Boise State University. This is the spring semester of 2012, and this is my reflection video. I will take a few minutes to discuss some of the projects that I feel helped me grow the most as a professional educator and how I will use what I've learned in this program in the future. Briefly about myself, I graduated in 1998 from Eastern Washington University, with a bachelor's in education, major in social science, and a minor in music. I've spent a few years teaching 5th grade, and I've spent the past 10 years teaching for Blue Mountain Community College, where I'm contracted to teach for the Oregon Department of Corrections in a medium security men's adult prison. I teach GED classes and adult basic education classes there. As far as this program goes with my students, there were some challenges. They do not have access to the internet and other technology. Therefore, I wasn't able to share my projects with the class for the most part. There were a few I was able to use print materials with, but it was pretty limited, so that was a bit disappointing. As far as what brought me to this program, I've been searching for a while for a master's program that I thought would be interesting. I, noticed some of my colleagues looking into things such as curriculum instruction, and those just didn't appeal to me. I didn't want to get a master's just to get one. I wanted to get one in something that I really enjoyed, and I've always enjoyed technology. I've always enjoyed computers, and educational technology just seemed to be a great fit. So I applied for the program, and here I am, almost done. So these next few minutes I will discuss some of my favorite projects. Okay, so first I would like to talk about EdTech 502, the Internet for Educators. This is the homepage I created with links to all the projects. Really enjoyed how this class took it week by week. For a person like me who never had any experience building web pages, this really broke it down, and it was during the summer semester also, which made it even faster. But the class did a great job of breaking down each concept week to week and building upon what we'd learned the week before. So at first I was pretty nervous, but I really feel I learned a lot and was able to pick up the skills and remember them to this day. So great class. I'll skip down to the virtual field trip I created. This is a field trip that explores the four main regions of Oregon. And I created this banner in fireworks. I hadn't had much experience with that. Goes down, discusses the tour, gives a map of Oregon, and then we start and we go through each region. So here's the Portland region. Gives some information, some links to several outside web pages about Portland, some pictures, and then a couple of YouTube videos about Portland. Moves on to the Columbia River Gorge region of Oregon. Same thing, some outside links, pictures, and YouTube videos. Tried to get several forms of media on each of the pages. Oregon coast. Again, the same outside links, pictures, videos, and the Eastern Oregon region where I live. Just tried to summarize what each region was about, show you in pictures and video what each region was about. And for me, this was all about just putting together everything we learned in this course and making it something that was worthwhile in the educational process. And I really feel that I came a long way with this class. No way would I ever be able to do anything like this before I took EdTech 502. That brings me to EdTech 505 project, which was the evaluation of the Aztec learning system in the Oregon Department of Corrections. This is one of the programs I told you that are loaded on our servers for our students to use. And I basically evaluated its effectiveness by using several forms of data. Sorry for scrolling again. First thing I did was I actually took some results from pre-tests and post-tests that are saved on the system. Okay, so we can go back and review how our students were doing. So I took some test scores from the fractions units that our students completed, and then the algebra units, depending on the level, ABE versus GED. The pre-test scores are shown, and the post-test scores are shown. So this shows there is definite improvement for students who use this program. Gave a survey to students about their attitude about the Aztec program, how it helps them or does not help them. Got pretty good results there as well. And then I did some teacher interviews. Asked teachers what they thought of the program, was it helpful, things like that. And again, very positive results. So this project, again, very helpful in letting me realize, what an administrator would go through when they're choosing a program like this and determining if it's worthwhile to keep funding. From the student point of view, I got to think of it from what my students were seeing as I sat down, and was this really worth their time? Did they feel they needed to be here? And then from my fellow colleagues, which I had a pretty good idea of what they thought anyway. But again, good project. Now to the EdTech 506 project. This was the instructional design course. Spent a lot of time just learning about how things are best laid out to create effective instruction. And the culminating activity was creating this website, which I chose exploring triangles as my topic. I teach a lot of geometry, the basic geometry, triangles, things like that to my students. So I thought this would be a good topic. Now, this was one where I was able to print out some of the pages and use them with my classes as reference. So first section here, I have classifying triangles. We go to this page I created, and this just lays out with pictures and words what the three main types of triangles are. We've got the obtuse triangle, the acute triangle, and the right triangle. Okay, I was able to print this out. And then the concepts of equilateral, isosceles, and scalene triangles. Went down to the concept of similar triangles. Can be a very difficult concept for students to grasp. Okay, and again, what I have here is the concept of similar triangles. I broke it down using some of the ideas about color that we talked about, and was able to match corresponding numbers and letters using color. The reds go together, the blues go together, the purples go together. And then I created a word problem example because the GED test is based on word problems. Again, using colors and to illustrate. If you have the height of a tree, or you have the length of the shadow of a tree, the height of a fence post, and the length of its shadow, how do you determine the height of this tree? Okay, and then based on that, matching the colors up to each part, using the red dotted triangle to show how a student could create triangles out of these two ideas and work through that. Pythagorean theorem, same idea. Okay, using some colors to represent the separate instruction and separate steps here. This is a different idea within the Pythagorean theorem. This is solving for the length of a missing leg. The first was solving for the missing hypotenuse, and then a word problem example. Again, using the red to illustrate the triangle. Last project I'm going to discuss here is my EdTech 512 online course design. I created a class in Moodle about writing a GED essay. Great class again. Really learned a lot about Moodle. Learned a lot about what my professors have gone through to create these classes, and admire them greatly, how they've gotten such organized classes created. Uh, Module 1 here, we just talked about introduction and overview, went through some basic punctuation skills, had some assignments, some YouTube videos, a discussion question each week for each module, I should say. Went through some basic grammar in Module 2. Again, a discussion question, some more worksheets they were required to do. Went to the pre-writing in Module 3. Talked a lot about brainstorming. Another YouTube video discussion question. They also used a GED writing book to go along with this. Actually writing the essay, Module 4. Talked about body paragraphs, um, concluding paragraphs, things like that. And the final module was proofreading and revision. So this course was invaluable. I mean, I just learned a ton about what goes on, I guess what the differences are between creating an online course and an in-person course. So again, great stuff from EdTech 512. I also took EdTech 522, which was similar, and I created a project in Moodle in that course as well. Very similar, but it was only one lesson. And that was tailored for a particular student in class. We had to analyze the learner and then decide what would best serve them. And another great course. So these are some of the projects that I feel best represent what I learned in this program. This program start to finish taught me more than I thought I could ever learn about educational technology. I feel privileged to have been able to participate in this program. I'm very grateful to the university and my professors and classmates who have helped me out along this journey. I am very happy with my decision to complete the MET program at Boise State University. And although I'll be sad that I'm done, it will be nice to get back to a normal life, play some golf, and spend some time with my kids and my family. Thank you.